Usually on Wednesday, I bring you a Ken Owen's Indiana will report. Well, the past couple of days I've been gone. I've been in Washington working on a special report that will air later this month. While in Washington, photographer Ray Stoip and I had a chance to visit with talk show host Larry King. And tonight, instead of Ken Owen's Indiana, we meet the man they call the king of late-night radio.
And now, the host of the show, ladies and gentlemen, Larry King.
Thank you, Paul, and welcome to another night, another week of coast-to-coast listening on the Larry King Show.
Every weeknight from 11 p.m. until 3 in the morning, millions of people tune in to hear this man talk and ask questions. Larry King has been broadcasting on the Mutual Radio Network since 1978. Today, his program is carried on more than 300 stations, including WOWO here in Fort Wayne. Larry has won a number of honors, including a Peabody Award, but he does no preparation for his show. He says it works better for him that way.
I am a curious person. I'm by nature curious. And I have no idea what I'm going to ask the guests tonight. None, zero, zip. And I don't know till I go on. And it could be the feeling of that moment.
Larry's guests run the gamut. The studio walls are lined with pictures of former guests, including entertainers like Jerry Lewis and Bob Hope, and political figures such as Jimmy Carter and the Reverend Jesse Jackson. On the night we visited Larry, his guest was White House Budget Director James Miller.
Constitute the vast majority of the time of the budget director.
So what are Larry King's favorite interviews? He says he's done about 30,000 in his career, so it's really hard to pinpoint which ones he enjoyed the most. But he does say there are 4 things that make for a really good conversation.
An ability to explain what you do very well, whatever you do. Ballet, dance, it doesn't matter. An ability to explain that very well to the layman. 2, a passion for what you do. Sense of humor. And a little bit of a chip on the shoulder, a little bit of anger. Those 4 combine to make a great guest. And then the ability of the interviewer is to then bring all that out so that if it's Sinatra, I can put you on stage with Sinatra. And if it's a plumber, I could put you in a kitchen with a plumber looking at a situation and dealing with it.
Besides his radio show, Larry also has a live TV program on CNN. He writes a column a week for USA Today, makes appearances on the Hollywood Squares, and travels across the country to speak to groups. Larry says he averages about 5 hours of sleep a night.
I can get physically tired, but I never get burned out. I never get tired of meeting people and asking questions. That doesn't happen.
Besides interviewing top celebrities, Larry also takes phone calls from his audience. He says he wouldn't trade his job with anyone. He's wanted to be in broadcasting since he was 5 years old.
Radio was my magic. I would look at the radio and imagine whether they were standing or sitting and if they were wearing a tie or not, and how they were dressed and the way they looked. And I wanted to do that, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. This is the Larry King Show in Washington. We'll be back with your phone calls for James Miller, director of the OMB, in a moment. This is the Mutual Broadcasting System.
Must have been interesting to see that in action.
Very nice guy.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you again tonight at 11. Good night.
Tonight at 7:30, watch the stars come out with award-winning actors Ned Beatty and Stephen Furst on the all-new Hollywood Squares.